Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of GamesQuestions. We do have some questions on both blogs this week. So let's start off with the UK, as I'm aware there's quite a few questions regarding Chronicles of Drunagor that I'd love to answer for you. So let's go. So from what I can see, we have 3 questions for Chronicles from Chris, Andy and Aaron, who are just wondering what is going on with the projects and what's the hold up. So I do have some information for you, and just to clarify with Chronicles, there had been a few issues with the SKUs matching up with the data. So there had been some going back and forth with the publisher to seek clarity on it. Unfortunately, this does take time. However, the data is now complete. The packaging was approved last week, and we're now on the final few stages before fulfillment begins. What that means is we are currently, well, this week we will be setting up the picking station, and the plan is for fulfillment to begin next week. Saying that, the blog goes out on Tuesday, so it might be in final admin checks then. However, what we will be doing is posting update across our social media channels when fulfillment does begin. So if it's not fulfillment underway by Tuesday, I would recommend just keep an eye on them for a fulfillment underway update. That's all the information regarding Chronicles. I hope that is useful for you guys. And like I said, we're expecting it to start next week. So yeah. So thank you, Aaron, Andy, and Chris for your questions. We do have some more questions on the UK blog. Firstly, we have one from Matt for Endangered Orphans, and Matt has asked, Endangered Orphans has been in data analysis for what seems like an age, I think 5 weeks or so now. How far are we from fulfillment beginning? So the packaging has been approved and Endangered Orphans is close to being ready for fulfillment. However, just to give you a heads up, there are a few projects ahead of it. So we don't currently have an estimated start date for that. Apologies that we can't provide that, but yeah, just keep an eye on the blog in the meantime. And the last question on the UK blog is from Dave, who said, do you have an estimated start date for the next wave of Heroes of the Grid from Renegade? Project manager who usually works on Renegade's projects is out of office, so I can't give you that information or clarify at this time. However, please feel free to drop us a message on Facebook and Twitter, and as soon as I have that information, we can update you. So yeah, that's all the questions I believe on the UK today. Okay, so with that said, let's head over to the EU blog where we have 2 questions this week. So the first question is from Martin, who said, "Hi from Sweden. Do you know when shipping for Endangered Orphans House of Wrath will start?" And so Endangered Orphans is currently on site and in the queue to start project data analysis. However, at this time hasn't begun. So unfortunately, we don't have an ETA at this time. We would just say keep an eye on the fulfillment blog for now to see when project data analysis does begin, and then hopefully once we're at that point, we might be able to give a bit more of an estimated start date. And the last question on the EU blog and for GamesQuestions this week is from Johnny, who said, any news on Skyrim? They said that by the 5th of October the ship should be in port and deliver should be between the 20th and 21st and start fulfillment in early November. So yeah, hi Johnny, thank you for the question. The last update I had from the freight team was that some of the stock had arrived, however it was in 2 containers, so we were waiting for additional stock to arrive, which is why it's still currently stated as on the water. I'm waiting for confirmation if the other container has now arrived. So in the meantime, I would just say keep an eye out on the fulfillment blog, and hopefully next week it will clarify if all the stock has now arrived. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has left questions on the blog. But as always, keep an eye out for the next edition of the fulfillment blog. And if you've got any questions referring to that next week, just leave them on there and I'll be back again next Thursday to answer. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.